You've heard of the Great Wall of China, but what if I told you Catherine the Great, Empress of Russia, from 1762 to 1796, was rumored to have dreamed of her own Great Wall in Crimea? While there's no concrete evidence that she ever planned such a project, it is a fascinating what-if scenario. Imagine the course of history if this ambitious idea had been real. Let's dive into this speculative journey of power, ambition, and the wall that never was. In this episode of An Ounce, we're exploring a tantalizing historical what-if. Catherine the Great's annexation of Crimea is well documented, but rumors of her envisioning a great wall to fortify the region open the door to a fascinating thought experiment. While the idea is rooted in rumor, and there's no hard evidence such plans existed, the concept isn't entirely out of character for an empress known for grand gestures and imperial ambition. Join us as we imagine what might have been if Catherine's Crimea had its own Great Wall. Catherine the Great's reign was marked by expansion, reform, and audacious ideas. After annexing Crimea in 1783, she faced a complex challenge: how to secure and integrate this strategically vital region. Crimea was a geopolitical hotspot, coveted by the Ottoman Empire and home to culturally diverse populations that greeted the idea of Russian annexation with all the glee of a cat at bath time. This is where the rumored Great Wall enters the picture. But did Catherine consider such a project? And if so, what might have motivated her? A wall could have served multiple purposes: asserting dominance, protecting borders, and symbolizing Russia's strength. But could such an ambitious endeavor have been achievable? Or would it have been another case of imperial overreach? Let's unpack this speculative scenario by exploring the possible motivations behind such a wall, its potential challenges, and its imagined impact. Politically, a Great Wall would have sent this clear and unambiguous message: Crimea was Russian territory and its annexation was non-negotiable. With tensions running high between Russia and the Ottoman Empire, a wall could have been the ultimate display of Catherine's resolve to solidify her empire's claim. It might have deterred rival powers and cemented Catherine's legacy as a leader who could make bold, permanent changes. From a defensive standpoint, the southern borders were under constant threat. Ottoman forces and Crimean Tartars posed significant risk to Russian settlements. A fortified barrier may have offered protection, creating a sense of security for the region's inhabitants, and stabilizing an area rife with unrest. Catherine was no stranger to grand symbolic projects. A wall in Crimea would have been an embodiment of her imperial vision, a demonstration that Russia was not only a European power, but one capable of monumental achievements. Knowing Catherine, this wouldn't have been a mere defensive structure. Imagine a wall blending cutting-edge military engineering with the kind of architectural splendor that would leave no doubt about her empire's power and sophistication. Would erecting such an object have been feasible? Building a massive wall in Crimea would have been like trying to construct a sandcastle as the tide rolls in. Audacious, but doomed to fail. The terrain was unforgiving. The resources were limited. The logistical challenges immense. And let's not forget the political and financial strains of running an empire. And yes, China did it, but it took 2,300 years to complete. Even Catherine, with all her determination, might have found this dream slipping through her fingers. Now let's consider the turning point. If Catherine had decided to move forward with this wall, the challenges she would have faced were nothing short of monumental. Would she have doubled down, pouring resources into its construction, at the expense of other priorities? Or would advisors have convinced her to abandon the project, redirecting her focus to more practical endeavors? And what if the wall had been built? Could it have altered the course of history? If it could have, by some miracle, been completed quickly, perhaps it would have solidified Russia's control of Crimea much earlier, deterring Ottoman advances. Or perhaps it would have become a cautionary tale, a monument to imperial overreach, crumbling under its own weight. So was Catherine the Great's Great Wall in Crimea ever a real idea? Maybe. But Catherine the Great is unavailable for comment, so who knows? But exploring this rumored what-if scenario reveals much about the challenges and ambitions of her reign. It's a story of geopolitical strategy, imperial vision, and the thin line between bold ambition and overreach. While the plan for the wall remains a fascinating myth, it invites us to reflect on how history might have changed if Catherine's rumored plans had become reality. So, here's an else. Think of the little changes that can be made in history, whether it be a great wall or just a relationship that never happened, and how history has changed because of it. Little things can become big things in time. And that's it. An ounce submitted for your consideration. If you enjoyed this speculative dive into a historical what-if, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. It helps us raise our profile on the internet and get a little bit of attention, and we'd really appreciate it. And what do you think? Could Catherine's Wall have changed history? What other historical what-ifs should we explore next? Let us know, and stay tuned for more intriguing tales, engaging stories, and perhaps a few more what-ifs from history. See you next time. Thanks.